All right, welcome back to Meet Us in the Ring. Maddie, how you doing?
Neither of us are wearing the shirt.
I know, and I don't know what this
What is that shirt? What are you wearing?
First of all, this is O-Town. Please be respectful.
I thought it said A Town Down or something.
Oh my gosh, that would have been funny. No, this is
Merch.
this is O-Town. They are my favorite boy band of all time.
Period.
Do you know O-Town? Are you too young?
I don't remember how. Oh, I'm 23.
So yeah,
Right?
you're probably too young because their first album came out when I was like 7, so you weren't even born yet.
Amen.
Anyway, we're here to talk about women's wrestling.
We got our people in the chat. We got Caden. We got Phil. We got Angel Marie.
Angel, hey girl.
We got Trey. We got our OG boy Cap. And we got Gavin.
Does Cap mean that I'm old? Because he said you, but I think he means me.
Maddie is old as... Why are we doing...
He meant me.
We got Junior, and he's actually on time for once.
We got Unk talking over here. I can't.
I need you guys to drag Mary more for that LA Night take from
Stop.
a few weeks ago.
No.
23 is old. Okay.
Cap. Okay, we're not gonna go there. We don't call women old. We don't do that. That is rude.
Damn it, Cap.
But anyway, I want to talk about the tournaments that we have going on Raw and SmackDown. We have the US title on SmackDown and the IC title on Raw. I know that for the semifinals, we're having Michin versus Tiffany Stratton, which I feel like is going to be a really good match. Who's on the other side of that bracket for SmackDown? Do you know?
Bailey? Well, isn't it Chelsea and Bailey?
Oh yeah, you're right. It's
Okay.
Chelsea and Bailey.
Yeah.
So we have Chelsea and Bailey. We have Michin and Tiffany. The correct thing to do, obviously, we have said this before, is to then have Chelsea versus Michin, which, spoiler, they're both included on my list for our main topic today, which is our 5 favorite women's matches of 2024. I'm excited to talk about that, but I mean, it has to be Chelsea and Michin for the finals, right? Like, it has
Imagine
to.
they just give it to Bailey. I'd be so.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past Triple H. I wouldn't, because he loves Bailey. Like, Bailey has always been one of his golden children ever since her NXT days. So I wouldn't put it past him, but let's not.
I would be like ironic considering her title reign was absolute trash. So
yeah, but again, not her fault.
Doesn't love
we
her
all
too
know
much.
we all know that Bailey is an incredible wrestler. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's not her fault. Her reign sucked, but
yeah, they didn't give her any good opponents. They literally gave her Nia, and that was it.
We don't know Nia Jax Slander. Come on. I like that.
Trey said I think it might be Michin versus Bailey. I mean, if that's going to be the case, then I really hope Michin wins.
Yeah.
But Cap said it's probably going to be Chelsea versus Tiffany in the finals. No.
Miss Money in the Bank? That's stupid. Like,
speaking of Miss Money in the Bank, did you hear her little tease on NXT?
Oh, yeah, she's not cashing in on the NXT Women's title.
Hey, anything can happen. Austin Theory cashed in on the US title. Tiffany could cash in on Roxanne. Imagine the internet going insane.
No, thank you. I want Julia to beat Roxanne, period. The Iron Survivor, Julia.
Bailey doesn't need it since she's up there. It's one of my favorites ever. I wouldn't mind her either way. I mean, listen, I love Bailey, but I don't think she should be the first. If eventually she gets the US title so that she can continue to be a Grand Slam champion, fine.
Yeah, but, like maybe down the line is cool.
Yeah. Cool. Mary, that was stupid what Theory did. Well, yeah.
How dare Mary remind us all of that tragedy?
Anything can happen. Mary, no. I don't appreciate getting roasted every week on here.
Then stop having terrible takes.
They're not terrible. They're just different. Okay.
Mary, last week you said Adam Pearce was on your Hear Me Out cake.
Yeah, it's a Hear Me Out cake. It's supposed to be cringy. That's the point, Maddie.
We need to do an episode like just for that. And I know I said no the last time you suggested it because I didn't want to go to the library and print shit. But we should actually do it.
Yeah, we don't need to get the little things. We'll just show pictures or something. Hold on. Congratulations, Phil, on meeting the Go Bianca. So true.
Period.
Shout out to our honorary ooze, Phil, for meeting Bianca Belair. Like, so now 2 out of 3. I'm the only one left who needs to meet Bianca.
I also just want to say that I think the hate that Phil was getting was really like I said something about this on Twitter and something to you about this before we just started. That why I thought the gear was cute personally, and I think Bianca turned it out. But like even if you didn't like it, some people are just being so mean for no reason. Like I think
that's
some
so
people
dumb.
just genuinely don't like to see other people be happy.
And no, they're just jealous. That's all it is.
Yeah. And if you know Phil, you know he's like the nicest person ever. So that was just crazy to me. So, and it made me mad. And Phil, we love you and you absolutely deserve to win. And we're very happy for you.
He said, get it together, Mary. Go Bianca. I'm trying. Okay. I'm trying.
Mary needs to get her priorities straight.
Not Cap dragging me. Mary loves bald boy Adam Pearce. You know what? Period.
Period.
We've gotten so off track as usual, but people are just mad that Phil won and they didn't. Exactly.
Yep.
And if Bianca liked it, then what's the issue?
Right.
There's no issue.
What's the problem? Y'all are so mad, and for what? But I just wanted to say that. Shout out to Phil.
Yeah. Speaking of Bianca, she's still trying to find out who attacked Jade on SmackDown. She thought it was Piper Niven, but my boy Brian Saxton. Did I just call him Brian? Byron Saxton.
Mary's setting herself up for fail. I don't even have to do anything at this point.
Names are not my strong suit, okay? Byron Saxton. Right. He said, I can confirm I saw her with my own eyes that it was not Piper Niven. So Piper Niven is in the clear. People still think Naomi did it. People think Bianca did it herself. No. People think that it could potentially be Charlotte coming back, and I'm like, that's wild.
I miss Charlotte so much.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. You got to meet Bianca, Mary. She is like the nicest human being. Love meeting her. I know, guys. I want to meet her so bad.
Right.
So
it's like the highlight of my life. Right.
Tag Bianca Belair in our Instagram posts. Maybe she'll see it and she'll want to meet us. I mean, we'll see. I'm working to it, guys. I'm getting interviews. I'm making moves, trying to get us to that point where maybe WWE will let us do interviews. I saw Weezy Blonde doing interviews. There was someone else too. I don't remember who it was, but Malcolm's been doing interviews lately. Like the wrestling content creators are making moves, guys. They're making moves.
Amen.
I know Malik and their podcast recently interviewed was it Layla? I think. Yeah. So that's really cool. So we'll get there.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
For real.
Anyway, back to the U.S. title.
It's a chaotic episode.
I know, truly is. Do you think that the finals of the tournament should be like? Should they make it more grand? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I feel like the tournament has been very like lackluster in terms of its presentation.
Yeah.
So I feel like they should really make a big deal about it.
They're not going to. But I would love to see like the finals like on a PLE or something. Are they going to do that?
That would have been cool.
Because I don't think we have. What's the next PLE? Do we have one more for this year?
I don't think. Oh, we have the Saturday main event or whatever.
Is that a PLE or is that just?
I think it technically is a PLE, but.
All right. Well, they should do the finals, like maybe one of the finals for that on that or whatever.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be chill. Or both. Shit, do both because.
Period.
You know, why not? But I've been enjoying the matches of the tournament. I'm glad that the matches have been like pretty lengthy, I think too, which is very nice. Something that we did not see in the original Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yeah, it's very
Um,
true.
so it's good to see. I'm just very happy about these women's titles. It's kind of still hard to believe that we have them, you know?
I know, like, I feel like until those people are officially like crowned and given the titles, like it doesn't feel real.
I know.
But once they get them, like tears will be shed.
Okay, so a lot people are saying that this is gonna happen.
Oh,
So
okay, period.
that's great. And then obviously the IC women's title, we haven't even really started too much, so we gotta give that more time. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because that tournament hasn't even started yet, right?
yeah, Dakota.
Oh, it did. Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
That should easily be Dakota and Lyra in the finals, and I would root for Lyra. I think she's a lot better in the ring, and I just like her a lot more. But if Dakota wins, will I be mad? No, of course not.
Let me. I don't know the whole bracket, so let me look really quick.
I know.
Let's see.
We got Alba Fire in one match.
Hello. Oh, the U.S. title.
Shout out to Mandy Rose. Alba Fry.
Okay, so Dakota Kai beat Shayna Baszler and Katana Chance.
And Shayna didn't take the pin, and we love that. Yes, a win.
Yeah, it was Katana Chance. And then we have Zoe, Raquel, and Kaden Carter. Didn't Raquel win that match, or has that not happened yet?
I don't think that's happened yet, and hopefully Raquel
maybe that's just in my head. I mean, I would listen. I like Zoe Stark, so I wouldn't mind if she continued on in the tournament.
Yes, like I get we say what we say. I personally, me low-key coming out as a Zoe Stark fan, I think she's really, really good in the ring. That for me is her strong suit. So I would like to see her advance. I also love Kaden Carter, but I know she's not going to advance. So.
Yeah, I mean, Zoe had a pretty big bodge at Money in the Bank, and I feel like after that they kind of stopped trusting her. But I still think that she's really good.
Yeah, but like Money in the Bank and War Games, like those are clumsy matches, so things happen,
Yeah. I'm wanting Natalya to win the IC title.
No. No.
You know what? Listen, Linda.
Nope.
On the other side, we have Lyra, Zelina, and Ivy Nile. You're going for Ivy for that one?
Who's in the match again? I'm sorry.
Ivy Nile, Zelina Vega, and Lyra.
Oh no, Lyra.
Not a hot take, maybe. I hope Zelina advances.
I mean, I knew you were going to say that, so fair enough.
She deserves a mid-card title. That's just my opinion. But and then we have Alba Fire, Kairi Sane, and Natalya. That one, mean, but she's in like the tag team thing with Isla Dawn. So yeah, I think let's just play devil's advocate and Lyra advances. I would rather see a match between Lyra and Natalya than Lyra versus Alba Fire for the semifinals.
Sure. Lyra, Alba, out of the three that she's facing, in my opinion, is the best in the ring. That's why I would like to see her advance. Mm-hmm. I've seen people wanting Kairi to take the title. I don't know. I think Junior's is coming for your neck.
Dude, he's dragging me through the mud.
Junior. Either way, yes, Alba is very, very good. I think a lot of people forget about that, which for me is very frustrating. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, I definitely think the finals should be Lyra and Dakota. Like there's, and it's going to be Lyra and Dakota because they're the only two that received their own little like promo packages out of all the girls in the tournament.
I didn't even see that. I mean, listen, I wouldn't mind Zoe also being in the picture. Obviously, I wouldn't mind Zelina being in the picture. And then I don't mind Natalya moving to the semifinals just for the fact that I think that she would have a good match and like make it more meaningful, I guess.
I think that's why Natalya's in the tournament to begin with. Same with Bayley. Just to kind of give it more cred or whatever. Mm-hmm. Get more eyes on it, which it should be anyway, but not everybody loves women's wrestling.
Yeah, I had a lengthy conversation with some people last night at a Christmas party. No, it was a good conversation. Like, and it was two guys, and we were talking about women's wrestling and stuff, and it was a really productive conversation. But and they agree that women's wrestling right now is killing it, like especially NXT. So
Yeah. Did you watch NXT Deadline?
I haven't watched the pay-per-view like as a whole, but I saw clips on Instagram. So like I know that Julia advanced to have a title against Roxanne, and that what was the other match?
Obafemi won.
Oh yeah,
you know,
not a fan.
I wasn't really a fan of that either, and I love him. I think he is so talented. I was really pulling for Wes Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And Oba just being a last minute addition and then winning was kind of like, okay. The thing I was most mad about was the fact that Axiom was not in that damn match, because Iron Survivor Challenge without Axiom is painful. So I was very unhappy about that. But was I like really mad at the result? Not really. I mean, Oba has proven that he's more than just a big guy. Like, he's actually really, really good. So, yeah, he earned it.
Do you think he's going to beat Trick Williams for the title?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think Trick's second reign will be somewhat short-lived, which is fine. He had a somewhat decent first reign, so he doesn't need to hold the title for much longer. He's already pretty over, so yeah, I think he'll win.
Oof, Kaden said the Trick match was bad.
Well, I mean, Ridge Holland was in it, so I don't know what you guys were expecting.
Look who was there. Read the room. Just kidding. This is entertainment purposes only. Our slander.
Well,
no, but yeah, based on all the clips and stuff, like it looked like Deadline was a very good pay-per-view. I've seen that a lot of people in the chat say it was like an 8 out of 10. So
okay, period.
Yeah, that's a high score.
Yeah, I love NXT Deadline is actually one of my favorite pay-per-views or PLEs, whatever, that WWE does, because the very first Iron Survivor Challenge was so much fun, and I kind of wish it was something the main roster would do, but I like that it's just in NXT. It makes it feel more special.
Yeah.
And when I think Grayson Waller won the very first one, and that was so much fun.
Yeah, that one was so good.
Such a big fan. Him winning was hilarious, and I loved it. And yeah, shout out to NXT.
Yeah. Well, Victor Thomas had a question. He said, "What is something in wrestling that in the last few years has genuinely surprised you?" I'll go first. Okay. CM Punk's return, because hell froze over.
Our king has returned.
I wouldn't go that far.
Mary was jumping for joy, for real.
No, I mean, Cody Rhodes' return, CM Punk's return, like Jade coming from AEW to WWE, like those types of things really surprised me.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like something in wrestling in general that has surprised me is the amount of PLEs we had this year. Absolutely insane how many PLEs we had this year. Like compared to other years, and now SummerSlam's gonna be 2 nights. Like we're gonna have so much wrestling, and like I understand Triple H wanted to take over the world, but it's giving supervillain, and I don't know how I feel about it.
Can I just say, and I know people are going to disagree with me, and that's fine, SummerSlam being 2 nights is dumb.
Trash.
I'm
not on board.
Dumb.
Yeah, I'm not on board at all. Like, WrestleMania going into 2 nights was one thing, but SummerSlam, like, please.
It makes sense for WrestleMania because it's the biggest show of the year. There's so many matches. I was very happy when they split it up into 2 nights. But SummerSlam, it's not nearly as special as WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Nope.
Like, what's next? Money in the Bank, night 1 and night 2?
Oh, please, no. Don't even put that out into the universe.
I'm sure it's already out there. But, yeah. Dumb.
I mean, SummerSlam is the second Mania. I don't know. To me, SummerSlam has been kind of lackluster the last couple years. Maybe that's a hot take.
That is a hot take for this year because I think SummerSlam was great this year. Money in the Bank, we all agree, it was
I mean,
absolute ass.
the men's was ass.
I mean, the women's match wasn't like super memorable for me either.
Oh, really?
It was a good
memorable for
match,
me.
but like, is it a match I'm gonna remember like off the top of my head in a few years? No. In a few months? No. Tiffany was the right choice, but I don't know. I think after that match, the whole show just fell flat on its ass in a way.
Next, they're gonna split the Rumble into 2 nights. Please don't jinx it.
Oh.
I could see that. I could see that happening.
They will definitely do that. They will definitely do that.
That's probably incoming.
Oh my god. Crown Jewel night 1 and night 2.
Shut up. Don't even put it onto the universe.
Our favorite show, Crown Jewel.
I can't.
Crown Jewel.
Well, do we want to get into our favorite women's matches of the year?
Yes. Let's do it.
So, I think how we should do this is we kind of like go through our whole list first.
Okay.
And then we'll dissect them afterwards. What do you think?
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay. Well, do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Whatever works.
Why am I always the decision maker around here?
Because I am half asleep right now.
and I'm older, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. Seniority.
All right. So, listen, we're saying these were the best matches of the year. They were not, the most high profile, whatever. These were my favorite matches of the year and Maddie's favorite matches of the year. That's it. So take it as the face value. Okay. Having said that, my 5 favorite matches of this year for women's wrestling specifically were Becky and Nia Jax at day 1. The women's Money in the Bank simply for Chelsea Green because she was the absolute star of that match, and obviously Tiffy in the Bank.
Yep.
Jordynne Grace and Roxanne Perez at NXT Battleground. I think that was a very good match, and it was so high profile. Lola Vice and Natalya at NXT Spring Break-In. Listen, I really enjoyed that match. And then last but not least is the dumpster match between Chelsea Green and Michin on SmackDown.
I love Chelsea Green. I was so happy when she commented on our Instagram.
I know.
That was so cool.
So amazing.
Queen. She gets the job done.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
All right. These are in no particular order, and I might forget some of the shows that these are from, so bear with me. I have Roxanne Perez versus Julia. I thought that was a really, really great match. Love Roxanne so much. Best women's champion in WWE right now. I have Mariah May versus Toni Storm at AEW All In. Very nice to see that they have amazing chemistry. Oh, wait, we're not dissecting. Sorry. I just love to walk. I had Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax, but I don't think it's the same one that you had. I had the one where Nia won that match. I preferred that match.
That was day 1.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I have that one too. I have Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander for the TBS title. Not gonna lie, don't remember what show that's from, even though it was pretty recent. And then I also have Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. Again, forgot the show, but it was like it was not a lights out match, but it was like no holds barred or something, and it was dope.
Oh, okay.
So I got some mainly AEW Full Gear.
Yeah.
Thank you. Full Gear was Mercedes versus Chris.
Junior said, "Did Mary just have good takes?" Yeah, it happens. Okay,
don't get used to
it happens sometimes.
Don't get used to
Maddie, that was so rude.
Wait until somebody mentions LA Knight.
Oh, yeah. That's very true.
Chicago Street
Actually, I defended him last night, believe it or not. So.
LA Knight's on my Hear Me Out kick.
That's not a hear me out, though, because he's conventionally attractive.
Oh, anyway. I didn't think you were going to agree with that. Okay, cool.
But that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, okay, so let's start dissecting we'll start with my top 5. Okay, well, we both said Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax at day 1. That was in San Diego. I was there for that show, and Nia Jax came out on top. And that was I don't know, I think that was like the first time that I really was like, damn, like Nia and Becky just had an incredible match together.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I had ever been able to say that before. And so I love that was on both of ours. They both worked well together. Obviously, they've had, issues in the past. Nia injured Becky, blew out her nose, basically. So,
turned her into a star. Clock that T.
Oh, yeah, according to Nia Jax, that was
Kidding.
when she made Becky a star.
Kidding.
But yeah, I think overall that was a really good match, and honestly, it was probably the most memorable for me from that show.
I always say this about I'll talk about it too because I put this on my list too. I always say this about Becky is she is one of the few women, in my opinion, in WWE that is able to have not decent chemistry with everybody, but she's always able to make her opponent look good no matter who it is. And that's not to say like she's a great seller, which I think she's a good seller, first of all, but I don't think she's the best seller, but she's just able to always adapt to whatever her opponent's style is, and I really admire that about her.
I agree with that.
Becky Lynch, everyone take notes. Which I haven't said a mean thing about her in a very long time. So
a very long time.
That argument
it's okay.
applies anymore.
We will when she comes back, probably.
But I really love this match, and Nia winning clean as a whistle was awesome.
Yeah, that was
so
crazy.
Tired of the Nia Jax hate because she is so clearly improved, and it was just a great match between two really badass women. And there you go.
Yeah. Well, my next one was Women's Money in the Bank. We kind of talked about it a little bit. You said that maybe it's not going to be very memorable, but for me, it's memorable specifically because of Chelsea Green.
Okay.
That table spot that she took from the ladder was absolutely crazy. Yes, that match had some botches and had some weird things that didn't go as planned. Like Zoe Stark had one, and then I think Zelina had one. Things happen, especially with ladder matches. Like it can be very unpredictable. But I think there was more high spots in that match, and like I just remember it as I was thoroughly entertained, and like I was there for everyone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like it wasn't like like everybody in this match is boring or like whatever. Like I was invested in pretty much everyone in that match.
Oh, for sure.
So that's my justification for that as to why it's one of my favorites from this year.
I mean, now that we talk about it more, there's more things that I start to remember from it. But it's like I said before, the men's match was just so that it just kind of dragged down the entirety of the show a bit for me. And also, like, does anyone else remember the rest of that card besides the 2 Money in the Bank? Because I don't. Wasn't it like Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio?
Oh, was that Money in the Bank? I don't remember.
Exactly.
To be honest.
I don't remember exactly.
No.
But anyway.
So then I said Jordynne Grace and Roxanne Perez at NXT Battleground. Number one, they both looked fantastic.
As always, yes.
Jordynne Grace looked so strong. She was such a champ with the fact that her earring got caught in Roxanne's tights and got ripped out of her ear, and she continued that match like a badass. Like I could not.
Oh my god.
I would absolutely be like, nope, done.
No. Just no.
So the fact that she it didn't even look like it phased her. Like that's the crazy part. And they continued that match, and it was a really good match, and it was such a pivotal point for NXT because Jordynne Grace made her NXT debut basically and instantly had a champion versus champion match.
Yeah.
So I think that was so sick. I think it was very good for women's wrestling, and I loved it.
And Jordynne looked strong in defeat, which was cool.
Yeah, exactly. This one you did not agree with, but Lola Vice versus Natalya at NXT. what was it, or Spring Breakin', and it was an underground match. I enjoyed it. I think Natty held her own during that match. I loved that. I don't remember who was in Natty's corner for that, but who?
Carmen.
Oh, okay. And then oh no, and then Lola Vice had Shayna Baszler in her corner before their feud. And I don't know how you felt about the Lola and Shayna match, but I feel like the Lola and Natty one was stronger. And I really liked that it was the first ever women's NXT Underground match. Mary, that match was ass. Cap, you better stop. It was a good match. It was really good, and it was the first of its kind on NXT, which Natty continues to make history. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why it sticks out to me so much as one of my favorites, because it's just another layer of women pushing against the glass ceiling.
Phil.
Yes, that match happened, Phil. Thank you.
Damn it, Phil.
I can't. Y'all gonna make me quit, for real.
I just want to say for the record, I don't think the match was bad, but it was certainly a match.
And I'm not saying it's the greatest match in the world. I'm saying it was just one of my favorites because of everything that it was involved with it.
Yeah.
I think that's what made it one of my favorites, because I love Natty to death. You guys know that. So
it wasn't bad. It was just kind of it again, not memorable, but it was still very cool for them to have that moment and for Natty to once again put over another woman, which was really cool. So
yeah. And she definitely put Lola over in that match. 100%.
Shayna didn't have to, though. Shayna should have won.
Oh. T. And then my dumpster match of Chelsea Green versus Mia Yim. Someone had said that match was meh. Someone said that earlier in the comments. But, oh yeah, see, Gavin said it was meh.
I think he's talking about Natty versus Lola.
Oh, well.
Unless he thinks
the dumpster match. I think it was just one of my favorites. Number one, because Chelsea Green saw our video and commented on it. But also, Chelsea Green went full out with her ring gear, literally dressing like, a dumpster truck worker. What are they called? Dumpster truck driver. And then, obviously, Mia Yim is she's doing so incredible with stipulation matches.
Yep.
To me, I don't know. It's giving AJ Styles. It's giving Mick Foley. It's giving Dean Ambrose. Just that person that is just down for the cause.
Yeah.
And I love that about both of them. And that's why they should be in the finals for the U.S. tournament, because they're both down for the cause and they're willing to do whatever it takes to have an entertaining match. And that's what I love about them. So that's why that match was one of my favorites, and that it sticks in my brain for this year.
It was very, very fun, and I'm glad that they got a decent amount of time to do it instead of it just being 2 to 3 minutes.
The end of the match, when Mia Yim jumps off the thing with Chelsea and slams her into the dumpster onto the table, just chef's kiss. Exactly. The dumpster match proved to me that Michin and Chelsea can be standard bearers for the mid-card title. Exactly.
It makes some people forget how good Chelsea is in the ring just because of her comedic persona. She's really good, and I would love to see her as a world champion one day.
Yeah, for sure. Me too. Well, let's move on to your side of things, and you can give your spiels.
I'm not going to go into the Becky Lynch Nia Jax one because we kind of just already talked about that. So we'll start with Roxanne versus Julia. I was pretty familiar with Julia before she came to NXT, not crazy familiar. So I was really excited to see what her kind of style in WWE and NXT was going to look like. And Roxanne just being absolutely insanely ahead of her time. She's incredible. She is without a doubt one of the best NXT women's champions we've ever had. I knew it was going to be a good match. I just really loved it. I thought it was it sounds kind of cringe, but monumental in a way. Just two women that you never thought were going to face each other, facing each other. I will say I absolutely hated the ending because why is Cora Jade in business the business of women who are leagues above her.
Mhm.
Okay. But I think the rematch between Roxanne and Julia is going to be even better, and hopefully we'll get a much better ending. Love Julia. I'm very glad she won. Cap. This is how I felt. I'm like,
And
she's just,
yeah,
Cora Jade. You're just not as good as them. So stay in your lane. Stay in your lane.
yeah, and I think it's unfortunate because I feel like that match could have been even longer. I feel like it got cut short by the Cora Jade stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think they honestly had more to give. So I'm hoping that this match has no shenanigans. Like, I hope Cora Jade is not at ringside, and Stephanie is not at ringside because I know her and Julia have kind of been like this. So I just want it to be Roxanne and Julia one-on-one for the title, and that's it.
And we'll see who. Oh my god, this is so funny.
Cora should feud with Nikita Lyons, someone that's actually in her league. You know what? The reason that I'm not going to take offense to this, though, is because Cora has been in NXT a lot longer than Nikita. And if Nikita's already at her level or, even above, what does that say about Cora? Ooh. What does that say about Nikita? So that's all I'm going to say about that.
But a great match between two great ladies. Let's just hope that their rematch does not have a crummy ending.
Well, Kaden said, I think Stephanie might cost Julia. She looked pissed.
No, I really hope they don't do that.
Yeah.
Really hope they don't do that. They can't have Julia be costed her match twice. That would be ridiculous.
So do you think, though, that you think Julia's going to win? And then is Roxanne getting called up?
I hope Julia wins. I love Roxanne as champion, and I think it's been a great reign, but I think it's been a great reign that, it's run its course. It's time for something new, and she's been so dominant. She's been amazing, but, I would just worry that she'd run out of, people, and I just think it's a good time to end it, and I worry about Roxanne getting called up because, her and Triple H hands is worrying. But I do think it's time for a new NXT Women's Champion. So I'm hopeful, but do I think Julia's gonna win? I just don't know. I just don't know. But yes, great match. Moving on to this, honestly, is probably my number one this year. Mariah May versus Toni Storm.
That was very good.
It was so good, and I love Mariah May so much. Just meeting her in person was so cool. She was so
we know, Maddie.
I know. I'm not gonna tell the story again because it's just such a story, but she is so cool. And to see her starting out in AEW and then now she's women's champion, it was just awesome. But the match itself was really great. I was so happy to see that they had amazing chemistry. I think Toni Storm is incredible in the ring, and I think Mariah May is really good too. I loved, how Toni wasn't able to hit her with the shoe. She just loves her. She still loves her so much, even after Mariah May turned on her. And then Mariah May's like, well, I don't love you. And goes all out using Toni Storm's own move against her to get the title. It's been so cool. I'm super excited for Toni to come back, which I hope she will eventually, because I think AEW is really lacking in terms of their not having timeless Toni Storm. But this was, in my opinion, one of AEW's best women's feuds that they've ever done. The build was incredible. Just amazing booking right there. And it was so anticipated. And this was a match that did better than Mercedes Moné's match. And that's saying something. So love this match. Love this feud. So good. So good.
Yeah, for me, I mean, the most memorable thing about that match is definitely the story.
Yeah.
I loved the long-term storytelling for that one. And I think that's something that is still kind of lacking with women's wrestling in general is storylines. A lot of times things just get thrown together at the last minute and they're like, here, go have a match. So I'm glad it had a good story.
Such a long one too. And Toni's reign was incredible. And I think Mariah's having a pretty good reign right now too. So will we see Toni get her revenge? Maybe. But right now we got Mariah versus Mina Shirakawa coming up, and I'm very excited for that. And I agree with this 100%, Cap. This was an amazing match with an amazing story. But keeping up our AEW talk, because I still have two more still, Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander, which you guys told me was from Full Gear. Thank you for reminding me. Mercedes was getting a lot of like crap, I think, lately because some of her matches have been like when she wrestled Stephanie Vaquer, Stephanie absolutely out wrestled her, and was a weird thing for Mercedes. But I think this match between Mercedes and Chris really was like, okay, yeah, Mercedes still got it. Chris is amazing as well. Their chemistry was great. This was just a really hard hitting match. It was so much fun to watch. Like I'm just it was one of those matches where I watch it. I'm like, I love women's wrestling. I love wrestling. This is so good.
Yeah.
The moves, the counters, it was awesome. I was a little surprised Mercedes won in a sense because I know a lot of people want her to drop that title. I'm personally okay with her keeping it for a little bit longer, but I thought it was really great. I don't know if you watched this one though.
I don't remember if I watched this one, but I know that Chris Statlander she's such a beast. Like I see her posts on Instagram. Yeah, and she just looks like a beast, and I think she has a good career ahead of her. Mm-hmm. Was this before or after the crowds started chanting "Shut up" to Mercedes?
This was after, like,
okay.
Chris, they had randomly turned Chris face in like some stupid little promo package video, which I don't know if you guys saw that. I was laughing so hard because she's like, I was so mean. I just want to be like nice again. That's literally what the video was. But I think they had to do it because Mercedes is such a big heel now, so they kind of have to make Chris a face. But amazing match, amazing work from Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander. And my last match, keeping up with the Chris Statlander praise, was Chris Statlander versus Willow Nightingale. And did you guys say it was the last woman standing match? Because it wasn't lights out. I don't remember what it was. No holds barred or something. And I don't remember what show it was at. But it was one of those matches where like all cards are off the table basically. And it was brutal and it was crazy. And I was shocked that Chris won this feud because after Chris cost Willow the TBS title, I was like, okay, well obviously Willow's going to go on to win this feud and get her shot at Mercedes again. And I was completely surprised that that's not been the route they've taken at all. Willow has been kept away from Mercedes completely. I don't think they're going to do a rematch at all. But this was a great match. I loved the brutality of this match. Like the spots were wild. Willow really thrives in these types of matches. I think Chris does too, but Willow is kind of like her second nature in a way. She's done a lot of them. And it just, for me, was like, this is how fierce women's wrestling is and can be. And it's so eye-catching. It's so crazy. It's beautiful in a sense. And I was so happy to see how into it the crowd was. They were absolutely loving it. And it was just really, it was bonkers, and I loved it.
I'm going to have to go back and watch that match because I didn't see it.
Very, very good. And very brutal, too. Like,
really?
Yes. Tables, thumbtacks, all this. But it was great. It was really great. But yeah, my number one this year will have to be Mariah May versus Toni Storm.
If I had to choose, because I didn't really put mine in like any particular order, but if I had to choose my favorite, I think it would either have to be Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne, or honestly Becky versus Nia. Because that match was just such a surprise to me with how well they worked together, and Nia beating Becky, like that was a big moment. So
yeah,
it would probably be between those two for like my favorites of this year.
This is a good question. Who should dethrone?
I mean, that's a you question.
If I had to pick Cap, I know a lot of people are saying Anna Jay. I just don't see that because I think Mercedes is leagues above Anna Jay, and it's just not very believable to me. Honestly, I would love to see Mina Shirakawa take that title. That would be fun. Either that, or I would have said Chris Statlander, but I don't think that's happening since Mercedes beat her. So maybe Willow. Maybe she'll get it back. Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, I think next week we should definitely kind of look forward to 2025 and our hopes and dreams and Delulu thoughts about what 2025 can bring.
Yeah. This is hilarious. I feel like a tier list would have been good for this topic, but I don't want to be pissed off by Mary. So never mind. Mary is always wild when it comes to
you know what?
LA Night and Sea, girl.
I am here to not. I don't want to quote the one of the people that I loathe, but I am the voice of the voiceless. Okay.
Mary just quoted CM Punk. Holy crap!
I did, and for the simple fact that I feel like I can't be the only person with these opinions, and everybody else is just too afraid to say them because they will get dragged. But I will take all of the dragging. Give me road rash, okay?
I'm not gonna lie, Mary. I don't know if anyone else has these opinions.
They do. Trust me.
I'm sure
they do.
It's out there that does.
Like, there's other people who love the Bellas. There's other people who think that Natty is one of the greatest of all time, like me. Like, there's people who have my opinions. They just don't say them because they don't want to get bullied.
I thought you were gonna quote Blondie. We haven't even talked about Blonde YouTuber guy, and there's a reason.
Thank God he's been gone.
Yeah, bye. Stay gone. We don't care.
That's gonna be one of my things for 2025. Him not coming back.
I don't think he'll be back in 2025. He's taken like 2 years off or something, which is fair, I guess, for like your first kid. I don't know. Stay gone. We don't care.
Oop. But we are getting John Cena for 2025, so.
Period.
And you know what? My November brother, Ringsider Anthony, he has my back when Maddie doesn't.
Hello. I always have your back. I just can't always defend the things you say. Because saying that LA Knight is C tier and Michaelis is absolutely crazy.
You need to get past that, girl.
I don't know if
you need to get past that.
I don't think Junior and I can get past that.
Hey, after he lost to Shinsuke Nakamura, that's all.
Don't piss me off.
That's all. Well, guys, let us know what you think about our favorite matches. If you agree, if you disagree. I mean, can you really disagree with our favorites? Guess you can.
Yeah, you can't disagree with an opinion. So.
Oh, well, people do that all the time.
Well, I mean, they can't disagree with us being like, this is my favorite, is what I meant.
Yeah. But let us know what you thought about the matches that we chose, and comment down below which ones were your favorite of the year. I can't ever talk. Like, I don't know why I have a podcast, to be honest.
Me neither. Why do we do this?
We do this because we love women's wrestling, and guys, I haven't checked lately, but we are almost to 900 subscribers. Like I said last week, let's see where we are.
Oh wait, I'm so glad Cap said this because I knew someone was going to mention this. I knew someone was going to say this.
Oh,
that match was not one of my favorites. I'm sorry.
It was not one of my favorites either.
Is it in my top 10? No. Is it in my top 20? Yeah, sure. But was it one of my favorites? Not really.
Well, and speaking of Mania, I also thought about putting Rhea versus Becky only for the sole reason of shout out to Becky for literally having like the flu and like a fever and still showing up and doing her job, because miss me with that. If I have a cold, I'm not going to work.
Becky Lynch is down for the cause.
Yeah. So, but we are at 894 subscribers. We are 6 subscribers away from 900. So tell your friends, subscribe to the podcast if you're not already. Make sure to follow both me and Maddie on Instagram and TikTok while we still have it, because who knows what's going on with that.
Good Lord.
So wish all the content creators good luck, because we'll see what happens in 2025. So make sure to follow Meet Us in the Ring on Instagram. And yeah, Maddie, take us out.
If TikTok gets banned, I think we all know that it is all blonde YouTuber guy's fault. It is completely his fault. Everything he does is bad and wrong. So just so you know. But we love you guys very much. Thank you for hanging out with us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
We hate you, blonde YouTubers.